What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Strictly Casual. Today, we are going to be reviewing the Mortal Kombat movie. We're going to be reviewing our review. We got 4 categories today. We're going to go with story and game integration, characters, CG and fighting, and our closing thoughts for each point here. Luigi, I know you're a big fan of this movie. Why don't you start us off?
Mortal Kombat, definitely, in my opinion, one of the best movies to come out of HBO Max in this last year. I'm not sure if it's one of the greatest movies of all time, but I definitely think it lives up to what the video game was and the hype of all the characters. A lot of the fatalities that we all know and love were really incorporated to this movie very well. And personally, I think that, you know, Cole Young being the main character and kind of how he's being hunted by Sub-Zero and the way they established Scorpion and Sub-Zero's storyline at the start of the movie, and you get this awesome ass fight sequence where he's just murdering everybody, similar to like a Logan beginning of a movie. It just set the tone immediately for me, and I just kind of like got really excited and hyped. I think overall the transfer of the tattoos was really cool, and I thought that was probably one of the more interesting, more interesting details of the whole film. But overall, I think the fighting and the characters all come to life in this. Kano is obviously my favorite, stands out. But we'll get more into it. What are your guys' thoughts, Ryder?
I mean, talking about Cole Young, I think he was kind of the weakest part of this entire film, considering he was the main character. But characters like Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and especially Kano, even what was the name of the girl? I forget her name. I'm not too familiar with these characters.
Sonya Blade.
Sonya Blade. Yeah, she was great in this, you know. And I feel even Kung Lao and Liu Kang, and even though it felt cringy at times, you know, of course you will have your cringe with this because they try to connect to the game, and we can get to the connections. But overall, I had a great time. I had fun, despite it being cringy. That's my overall consensus of it.
Well, it was like what, an hour and 50 minutes. I had a fun ass time watching this movie. It was good. I enjoyed watching it the whole time, but it's not good to me. Like I don't know if it was like I wouldn't recommend it. Like, don't go out of your way and like watch this movie, I guess.
You have time. Yeah.
If you're gonna watch it, you're gonna have a good time. The fights are fun. The story, although it's very simple, it's like very baseline, just like all the characters, very one note. Nothing really happens. It's just like you're watching it, and if you just enjoy it, just have a good time.
I 100% agree with you. I think the whole time I was laughing. There's a lot of really good comic relief with Kano. I think he comes in and is kind of a powerhouse. Personally, I think he steals the show. I think every time he's on scene, you're kind of just like infatuated with his character and the things he's gonna say. But I agree, Cole Young kind of fell a little flat. I didn't see him as being less than any of the other characters. I just kind of saw him as being just another person that is just driving the story forward, right? And he was obviously the one that is like holding Scorpion inside of his head, and he has to release him somehow. So there was an interesting way of incorporating that. I don't know if that was the smartest way to do it, but I understand they wanted to bring Scorpion back to face off against Sub-Zero. But personally, I gotta say that the gore in this movie and the actual killings of the characters is so crazy good. Like it lived up to what I was feeling when I watched Mortal Kombat, like in the video game when I play it, and they kind of the same fighting mechanics. Some great fighting in this movie overall. I think it is one of the best when it comes to martial arts. It really kind of set the tone. I'm excited for sequels personally, but I thought it was weird that they didn't like include a whole bunch of characters. They had a lot, but they kind of also, it felt more like this movie was a setup for a franchise instead of just like, here's Mortal Kombat, you know what I mean?
Let me just jump into agree and disagree on some points there. I think the fights were fun, but it's terrible martial arts. Like, I think like watching like Ip Man or other martial arts kung fu movies, like the choreography is so good. Why not? This movie has quadruple the budget as one of those movies. Why isn't the fighting good? Like, the fighting was not fun for me. It was like the fatalities were awesome and totally fun to watch, but I thought the fighting was so underwhelming for a movie about fighting.
Yeah, I feel like each character did have their own like personal unique fighting style, and I think that yes, it did compared to the game where you could see they use their tools, and I think that's what kind of took away from the martial arts in a sense. It's not much hand to hand, it's more comic booky and more cartoony because it's a video game using a hat or using a sword. Like, it's like it won't give you that, oh man, this is like they trained a lot. It's more like, okay, that's CGI, they're just throwing their hand, you know. But I thought that was great because I was like, cool, I wanted to see stuff where, you know, Kung Lao in his hat and, you know, Scorpion and his sword, you know, those are the only two things. And of course there was that bigger guy, the forearm dude, I don't know the names. Goro, thank you. Oh, and then Cabal, I know him. I memorized Cabal because I liked his voice. It felt true to the game, kind of.
Cabal was good.
Yeah, I liked him. He was cool.
He's a teleporting guy?
Yeah, he was more like faster. He had his like hook knives.
No, he's great. And he looked just like the video game. He looks just like the video game, which is sick. I love that. Yeah.
There was some characters that I feel like didn't quite like fit up to the story. Like Reiko, that dude was just kind of like, he felt like a throwaway that they needed another fighter on the bad guy's side. And then Molina, I feel like they kind of underplayed her because she's a fan favorite, and then she was just kind of basically this like one-off character that just has like 3 or 4 lines of dialogue, and she's pretty much used as an assassin or mercenary, when in reality she's a much bigger character in the franchise. So yeah, some disappointments, some things that we all liked, but overall, personally, I enjoyed the film because you guys talk about having fun while watching movies. That's the whole reason you watch a movie, right?
Sure.
I recommend it because I enjoyed the fun out of it. So
yeah,
I don't know. People get too technical,
I wanted Raiden to come in and start fighting people, bro. I was so sad we didn't get any Raiden fighting at all. But I guess they're setting us up for sequels with that little Johnny Cage tease at the end. Which
That's
kinda,
right.
That was fun. I was like, I like that.
That's the one kind of cheesy thing I'll get into when it comes to the cheesy parts of this. My gripes is that when Cole Young was kind of setting up, okay, guys, here's what we have to do. We have to do one-on-one fighting with each one of these guys, and then at the end we gang up on Sub-Zero. And I was like, that's kind of funny because you could see them kind of like that 2D screen where they're kind of standing against each other and they're fight, And you had cringy stuff where they would quote the fatality, and you would quote when they said Kung Lao wins, and they said all that stuff.
I like that.
It's fun, but I also was like, oh, that's so cringy. But of course, I was just having a good time. But what do you have to say?
I don't think that that's so much cringy. I think it's just a callback to their franchise. And that's what made those moments so exciting and fun. I got excited. I didn't feel cringy when those things happened. Like Jax, I thought them ripping off his arms with Sub-Zero was such a creative way of getting his metal arms. I was like, that's such a great character moment because that's how he gets that. Personally, I thought that there was a lot of really strong moments in this film. If you just liked the video games, if you knew the franchise, and you went open it with an open mind, if you read too many reviews and you start closing yourself off to what others think, of course you're gonna go into this thinking the movie's horrible. But I personally went in without any thoughts, without reading anything, and I enjoyed the fuck out of it. So great movie. Good. I'm excited for the sequels.
I mean, hell yeah, I'm in for the sequels too. I just didn't think it was all that great, but again, had a great time. And hey, if you love it, it's great. It's great. I've seen all this on Twitter and stuff like this, guys. Is like, oh, Mortal Kombat sucks. Like, you shouldn't be having fun watching this. I'm like, bro, if you like something, enjoy it.
Game.
Have a good time. Have a good time. Don't let anybody tell you what you can't enjoy.
My only grope with this movie is when Shang Tsung is sucking out Kung Lao's soul. And then you see Liu Kang. He's like, no. And I thought he was gonna run and like try to stop.
He just stands there.
He just, like stands there like.
I felt the same exact way. I felt the same way.
You're like a super powered ninja fighter. Like, get your ass in there and fight the mother. Like. It just that was my only thing that I didn't like, and then other than that, I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. Sonya Taylor killing Kano was probably the highlight to me because it was this moment of where she kind of earned
Sonya Blade.
Emblem. Sonya Blade, sorry, it's not Sonya Taylor. Sonya Blade, where she kind of earns the emblem, and they kind of hint at it. Oh, she's the one that kills Kano. I was like, that was a good
I mean, the whole movie, I'm looking for a point where she's gonna get the symbol. You know what I mean? Like that. That was like so like. All right, makes sense. I get it. I could have told you that would happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But when it comes to all HBO Max films, I think even video game movies, like I feel like this was one of the strongest because of the budget and because it was on HBO Max. Like I feel like, since it's free, I get to enjoy it, But for those who are looking to like get HBO Max for this, I would say no, but I would say wait to see. But it's definitely a great selection within the HBO Max titles that they're releasing,
Yeah. 100%. I would agree. Also, the 2 fights that really stood out to me was the first opening fight is great. It's so good. And then the final fight with Sub-Zero was so good. Everything in between is already kind of hazy. Like there's no really big standout parts except for when the spinning hat rips the person in half.
Absolutely. That fatality was awesome.
As far as CGI goes, I actually really felt like there was clean CGI, except like moments like that one where they cut the person in half, and that's
I love it. I love it.
In half, but you can tell it's like a video game. It kind of felt like a video game. But overall, I'm more disappointed that so many people are disliking this film and so many people are just hating it because other people are hating it, and I'm just like you're saying, build your own opinion, watch it. Don't just go hate just because everybody else is saying it's bad, And that's also, my overall thoughts, personally.
One more thing to add is the blood effects were really good in this. All the blood looked very liquidy and disgusting, just like the game. And it was like cool to watch that this is like literally when you hit someone in the game and the blood like comes out like a waterfall. Like it looks just like that in the movie, and that's very cool to me.
It did the game justice, and like you were saying, I don't, based on the past Mortal Kombat films. What's up? I feel you go. Okay, I was just gonna say, based on the past Mortal Kombat films, on how they kind of did, I feel like it's like my expectations were set way low, and so they were exceeded because of how low they were set because of the past. Yeah. Okay, what were you saying?
I thought the smartest joke in the entire movie was when Kano is training with Liu Kang, and Liu Kang keeps flipping him on his back by sweeping his legs, and that's just like mashing the sweep the leg button in a video game. Is because if that's the only move you know, that's the same thing you do over and over again, and Kano keeps falling down. I'm like, that's good. That's good writing. Video games, I like that. It's funny.
I just have one last thing to say about it, and I just remembered it, which was just the soundtrack and sound design in this movie was absolutely beautiful. Like, I think that the immersiveness that the sound provided was perfect. I watched it with my friend who has these Dolby speakers in his house, and I just felt like I was in the world, you know?
Yeah.
And personally, I thought the design of the tournament, the way they did it in this film, was actually really smart. It felt less cheesy with them being like, there's a tournament to the death, you know? Even though they kind of talk about it, the way that they were like, maybe we take each of these guys one-on-one, and then they kind of walk into it, like you were saying.
Like,
platformer, and they are in this, they're all like kind of in different areas. I thought that was really exciting. Overall, I recommend the film, and that's my biggest thing I could say about it.
Yeah, I'll watch sequels. I'm in. I had a good time watching it, but I don't know if I loved it. I'm sad that they were like, oh, we're gonna fight in this tournament, that kind of thing. And there's no tournament. There's no tournament in the whole damn movie. They just fight each other. But sequels, I'm in. Whoever's gonna play Johnny Cage, I'm sure it's gonna be hilarious because they did I think they did a good job casting this. Except for the main character, which I thought was really flat.
Yeah, Cole Young was the one hilarious part, but I think Hiroyuki Sanada, I wanted to say his name because I love that actor, and I'm so glad he's Scorpion. And then Sub-Zero hopefully making a return in the next films because I'm sure he signed on for more.
I'm sure.
And then we got a Johnny Cage, which who knows is gonna play him. But I know I'm stating the obvious. But yeah, those are the things that I'm looking forward to in sequels, and I want them. I would say I recommend the film. I'm looking forward to sequels because I had a great time, and that's all I can ask for.
I do want to say this one last thing about the plot of the story. So you mentioned how they didn't have a tournament. So the reason they didn't have the tournament is because the bad guys from the Outworld came in. They talk about it in the film where they wanted to kill all the good guys so they didn't have to have the tournament. That's why they come and send attack. That's the whole reason. So that it kind of makes sense, but I agree. If you're hyping up a tournament, then include the tournament. But the plot for the
maybe next movie.
Yeah,
maybe hopefully
it's setting up.
That'll be exciting with some Johnny Cage fatality.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another review here from Strictly Casual. We've enjoyed doing this one. Did you enjoy it? Did you guys like Sub-Zero? Did you like Scorpion? Sub-Scorpion?
Sub-Scorpion.
It's going to be in the next one. He's going to be a hybrid between the two characters because, he took his soul.
Spoilers, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways, guys, we hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't. Like this video. It helps us out. Dislike it. It also helps. It doesn't matter. Any type of interaction with our content absolutely helps us grow.
That's true,
so thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace out, guys.